Good day, everybody. Today is Sunday, March 8th, 2026, and I am going to be giving you all an update on my hashtag Tomato Challenge 2026 plants. As you may recall from a previous video, I had to replant them all on February 15th, so it has been about 3 weeks since then, actually exactly 3 weeks since then. The first round that I planted unfortunately didn't make it because I loved them too much with water. I've been very careful about monitoring the water on these so that I'm not going to do the same thing again. So let's get you all a look-see at what's going on with the plants. I'll also show you the rest of my tomato starts. So here we have my setup in the garage where I have my grow lights and all of my starts going. I have heat pads underneath everything you'll notice, but they are currently turned off because everything is germinated, so we are ready for them to just start growing and acclimating and getting used to the environment. So it's been a nice temperature in the evenings here. I think that we're turning the corner away from winter into spring, so that's great. Hopefully I will get these ready to go in the garden in about 4 weeks. My target is the first or second weekend in April. So let's look at the hashtag Tomato Challenge 2026 starts that I've got going on. So this tray right here has all of my hashtag Tomato Challenge 2026 starts and also my celebrity starts. I have 4 varieties for the Tomato Challenge: the Granny Cantrell, the Mortgage Lifter, the Kentucky Beefsteak, and the Big Rainbow. So let's get a look-see at what's going on. So you can see that we've got germination and the first sets of leaves are out, but the first sets of true leaves have not come out yet. These first ones here in front are all of my hashtag Tomato Challenge 2026. Then I have about 22 other varieties of tomatoes that I have started, all of which have germinated and are about in the same boat. I'm hoping that we get some growth here and the true leaves start to come out so I can thin them out once they get a little bit bigger. This particular tray has my determinate tomatoes with the exception of the celebrities. And then the tray that I just showed you has a couple more determinates and some indeterminates in my cherries. Down on the second level, there are more determinate and all of my dwarf tomato starts. Then, of course, I have my herbs, some onions, some flowers, and a couple little jalapenos. So earlier today I went to Costco to pick up some of the Miracle-Gro organic raised bed and in-ground soil mix. They have it on sale right now for $8 a bag, and they are huge bags. So I picked up 8 bags of it actually. I need to top off my raised beds, and then anything that's left, if any, I will utilize in my pots after I sift it, and or I will add it to other areas of the garden. So my project today for the yard is to go through this corner bed here. It's got a lot of grubs in it that I need to get rid of. I've treated it several times and it didn't really work, so I'm going to hand pick them out. Hopefully I'll get most, if not all of them, and then I will utilize the additional dirt to raise up the level. It of course has settled over the course of the last year or two. I top it off every year and add some compost so that it is ready to go. You can see I've got my garden soil there, and then I have another pile right there. So got some things going on out here already. These are potatoes, and it's the first time I've ever grown potatoes, which is quite interesting and kind of a fun little experiment. I've got several different containers full of radishes. Oh, there's a little lizard. I've got several lizards that live in my yard. So this one here is a more mature one, obviously. So if we can get you a closer look at him. He's getting up on the wall in the sun so he can get some warmth. All right, back to the pots. I have 4 different pots of radishes. I have 4 different varieties. I have French breakfast, a red radish, daikon radishes, and a purple radish. So on some of my other pots, I've got some beets, I have red lettuce, that's Swiss chard. I've got my strawberries, and then I have a leftover parsley plant from last year. And then in these, I've got a couple things going on. This is a pepper plant that is actually from last year. I just trimmed it down this morning to help it come back to a better place. Got some lettuce. And I have some kale. Continuing on. Got my roses that are coming back after I transplanted them into the ground. Of course, the tangerine tree. I took all the tangerines off of it a couple weeks ago so it can get ready to start flowering here in probably about a month. My little lemon tree that I keep struggling with, these leaves are yellowing. So I've been feeding it, I've been doing other things, been doing some research on what to try and do to help it get back to a better place since it is new. And then of course I've got my big monster rosemary bush.